Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nikisha Moody. How y'all doing on this lovely Wednesday afternoon? I know it's been a minute. You know, I've been here, there, everywhere. Nah, I've been chilling with God. Life been just going, you know, a lot going on in life. But just, you know, doing what I usually do, just trying to get closer to God. But I came on here because I was thinking about the gender wars that, you know, we've all probably come across if you're on social media. Between the sexes, you know, something that, you know, has been going on for probably several years now. And, you know, of course, if you're a believer, you already know, or you should know, that this ain't nothing but the enemy, right? Trying to create division among the sexes, trying to create unions, covenants from being created, godly covenants, it's in hopes to destroy bloodlines, basically. But even in that, you know, God is still busy, right? God is the overcomer. He has already overcame the enemy and his plans, right? So God is active too. And the thing, what I see or what I feel that God is doing in this season with all of these gender wars is because right now we're at a place where if you're kind of aware of what's been going on for the people that have been sucked into this, you know, it has made people, it's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, men and women, right? And everybody's on this thing that I ain't gonna date, I'm gonna be single, I'm gonna be alone, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And you know, even I think statistically, now I haven't researched these statistics, but this is what I've been hearing, so you know. But they have been saying that, you know, that there are more single people, unmarried people today than in previous generations. In certain age groups and things like that, and you know, just and then you know, there's not babies being created, which is good because I ain't gonna say I don't know the statistics on that, but I've known a lot of babies that were created out of wedlock, and not judging anybody that has had baby out of, but that just creates headache. It just creates it just creates an environment that doesn't have to be created. You know, like I said, it's not about judgment. It's just about, okay, at a certain point we got to be like, okay, why do I want to make things harder for myself and my children? You know, so you have that. So I'm thinking about like, what's going to be the benefit of this? Like, what is God doing in this? And I think what God is doing in this, or how he's using this, is what we need is to be alone. What we need is to be alone. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm about to be 40. I've only in my adult years, and really all of my life, I was only been in one relationship. I guess, you know, teenagers, you don't really count, but I never, you know, I didn't have a boyfriend or anything in high school. And then when I was in my 30s, I got in a relationship from, I believe I was 32 to 36. I was in a relationship actually with a woman. So, you know, that was doomed from the start. But anyway, so the rest of my adult years I've been alone. And I will say, you know, and I was late getting into a relationship, right before I had the experience of a relationship. And I remember being in my 20s when I was very young, and I remember watching, you know, people around me, my friends that would get in relationship to relationship, and they would just go, they would be in a relationship or a situationship or just sleeping with somebody, and they would just go from person to person. And that would, especially more the relationships, I would be like, how, and just watching the world, you know, I was like, how can you go from one person to a next? You done spent 2 years with this person, you break up, and then you're with another person. Like, you know, that never felt right to me, even without experience in a relationship. So when I finally got into a relationship and, you know, went through that whole situation where God delivered me, right? When I got out of it, and even in the midst as I was fighting to come out of it, that stuff was hard. Like the fight, first of all, the spiritual warfare I had to fight to come out of that. And then even after coming out of it, the spiritual warfare to get my mind right and to deal with the things that just with me, you know, dealing with my stuff, my you know, because I will say the blessing about that relationship, it revealed a lot of things that I needed to work on, and not even so much in the sense of, like I was a horrible person, because I'm gonna just be real. I was a very good partner. you know, and I'm not just saying it myself. This is something that has been stated, you know, by the person that I was with, and, you know, by the way, you know, the family treated me and things like that. So, you know, I treated this person well. So it wasn't like that, but it revealed to me, and I definitely have my flaws. Not saying I was perfect, not saying that, but I'm just saying I treat people well. I do. Whether it's relationship or friendships, I treat people, whoever, if you're rocking with me, I treat you well. And even if you're a stranger in the street, I'm gonna say what's up. Like, I treat people well, period. I treat people like I want to be treated, period. You know? But anyway, it revealed a lot to me about myself, and I had to work through that. And, you know, just things in me, some deficiencies in me. And I just sit here and think, I'm like, so how you, and then also from being in that relationship, there was some baggage I picked up that I had to let go. So I'm thinking, like, not only did it reveal more of me that was already in me, it also, I picked up things. So I'm thinking, like, if you go from a relationship to a relationship, so you're not even dealing with yourself, then you're picking up new stuff from relationship to relationship. I said, by the time you get to being quiet or getting somebody that you really desire, who God sent for you, you're gonna be a mess. So what I feel like God is doing, this is like, he's using this irritation and frustration between the sexes to sit people down. Sit down somewhere. You ain't always gotta be in no relationship, man. Deal with yourself. Deal with the man and the woman in the mirror. Get your word. Read your word, because the word is gonna read you. It's going to reveal to you where you lacking at, where you need to be strengthened at, where you need to things you need to add, things you need to take away. You hear me? And you get in your prayer closet and you pray to God and you cry out to God and you ask him to crush you. You ask him to put that fire up against you. You ask for him to sanctify you, to consecrate you, to wash you with his word. And you go into fasting and prayer, because some of this stuff is generational. This is generational curses, stuff that been passed through the bloodline. And you go to work so that when God sends the one he has for you, you will be ready for him or her. Period. People out here all upset, talk about acting like just such a victim mentality in this generation, on both sides, men and women. Just so victims, like, oh, all women are this, all men are that. Don't want to take no accountability, responsibility that you chose wrong. How you still choosing wrong and you've been in 20 relationships and you still don't know how to pick one? The thing is, I'm gonna tell you one thing about when it comes to dating and how God don't play about union. You can have low discernment, but when it comes to dating and potentially yoking with someone, God will let you know if that person is not. God might not tell you why, because I've seen people in the comments be like, well, how I was supposed to know he was a woman beater? How I was supposed to know that he would do this or do that? Baby, you ain't got to know. When you hear that no, that's what you're going. How you know when they be presenting and they pretending like they nice and they all this, but then they turn around and be narcissistic? Baby, you know, because you felt it in your spirit, but because you didn't see it with your eyes and you so desperately wanted it, you continue to go into that relationship. And then when you went into the relationship, it fell apart. I didn't know. I had no clue. No, yes, you did. But because you didn't see it and you felt it and you wanted it so bad, you got it and you got played for it. And I say that, man, because it's just what it is. It's what it is. You wanted it, you got it, you got played. Stop being a victim. Take accountability and say, you know what? I was desperate. I made a God out of this man. I made a God out of this woman. That's why I ignored the signs, or that's why I ignored my gut feeling. God gives you that gut feeling. He gives you that gut feeling to let you know if somebody is the one or not. You just wanted to do what you wanted to do. You didn't want to be alone. You don't love yourself. So the thought of being by yourself, it just scares you. And you don't want to deal with the brokenness in you. You like, look, y'all, we got to grow up. Look in your man. I've been single most of my adult life. About to be 40. So 15 years, starting from 21 to 40, 15 years of that, I've been alone. And let me tell you something about being alone. You get to look in that mirror and you get to go to work. You get to go to town on yourself and get yourself ready and get yourself prepared for whatever God has for you. Because some people, it's not for people to get married. Now, I don't feel like it's a lot of people that are not destined to be married, but I do feel like there are some, and sometimes people overlook those people and they'll just accuse them of being people that don't want to that are hurt and wounded. Now, there are those too. You know, people like, I don't want to be married, and they just broken and need some healing. But there are true people that I feel like God has put aside to not be married. But for the rest of us that are, do the work. Get yourself ready. And don't even think about don't put that on your main thing. The thing is, when you align yourself with God, everything he has for you will come to you, period. When you're obedient, when you're faithful, everything that God has for you will come to you in its time. So don't focus about getting this or getting that, getting this or getting that. Focus on your relationship with God. And out of that relationship, you will possess, you will take a hold of every single promise, every single thing that God has for you, period. But we got to stop making excuses, y'all. We got to stop crying over spilled milk. We got to clean that milk up, deal with the man and the woman in the mirror, and get it together and get ready, suited up, because we in the last days, y'all. So we got to stop playing. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to stop by, drop that off. All right, y'all. Peace.